Are women ignoring you? Are you watching dating advice videos just like this, thinking to yourself, you're learning, you're growing, you're becoming better with women, you're becoming a ladies' man, and yet when you go outside to meet women at a house party, at a social gathering, you see that women are still ignoring you, they are not responding to you, you still feel invisible as ever, right? And so I know what that feels like. And so what I wanted to do in today's video, I wanted to put together a list of the 7 reasons why women ignore you, all right? And so first off, my name is Franco from Peaceful Seduction, where we're all about helping men attract and date women in a way that is peaceful, natural, and enjoyable, right? And so if that sounds interesting to you, consider subscribing, right? And so let's just get into it, right? And so 7 reasons why women ignore you, ignore men in general, right? Reason number 1, due to lack of status or simply just being low status, all right? And so what is status in case you've never heard of it? Status is basically your ranking within the social hierarchy, okay? And so the social circle that you belong to, there are people who are high status, there are people who are low status, right? And so what you must understand is that status is one of the most important things that goes into attracting women, right? And so what you must understand is that women are only attracted to men who are of higher status than them. Women will never ever date a guy who's below them in status. All right. And so ideally we want to be a high status member within the group, right? And so you have the cool people who everybody talk to. People just go to them for leadership. They just, whatever they say, they just do. Where you have like the people who are kind of like the misfits, the losers, the ones that no one really talks to, the one that people, they overlook, right? And so what do you do if you are a low status member? Do you just try to out alpha all the high status guys? No. All right. You never ever want to compete with another man. For the most part, all you really want to do is you just want to compete with yourself, get better day after day. All right. And so don't worry about what other men are up to. All right. And so when a guy tells me that he is a low status member within a group, what that tells me is that he is in a group where he is not passionate about the group itself. Okay. And so if we take the example of dance class, all right, you may have heard that dance class is a really great place to meet women. But if you're not passionate about dance class, then you're not going to be putting in all the work to become a better dancer. Whereas the guys who are high status within the dance class, those are guys who are extremely passionate. And because they have all that passion, they are practicing dancing day in and day out, in the daytime, in the nighttime. They're just always dancing. So naturally they get further ahead. Thus, they gain the respect of all the other guys and the respect and attraction of the women, right? And so what you must do if you want to become a high status member of any group is, bro, like you need to take the time to find out who you are. Why are you on this planet? Okay. What are the things that you are passionate about? What really gets you excited? And the thing is, a lot of the times we actually do know what we're passionate about. We just tell ourselves, oh, it's not the right time. I need to build this business first and then I'll go do that thing, right? And so find out what it is that you're passionate about and then join a group, a community of like-minded people who share that passion. But in this case, you're going to be like the most passionate person in that. And so naturally your passion is going to drive you into putting in all the work in order to become one of the higher status members without even having to try, all right? It's just going to be who you are. You're just naturally passionate about that thing, all right? And so maybe your passion is not dancing. Maybe your passion is yoga, all right? So you get into yoga class and then boom, after 6 months, you see that you are one of the higher status members because you really know a lot about yoga. And so people respect you and the women are attracted to you, all right? And so that is the healthy way of becoming a high status member within a group, right? So that's reason number 1. Reason number 2 why women are ignoring you, it could be due to a lack of social or a lack of sexual presence, all right? And so yes, dating is all about love. It's all about having somebody to go out with, somebody who you can have movie night with, date night with, all that. But really dating comes down to sex at its essence, right? And so you must convey to women that you are a future sexual partner to them, that you are the kind of guy that gives great sex. And so when I go out and I see just guys, a lot of them are just presenting themselves with like, no, they're not even aware of their presentation, like their aura, their energy, their presence, all right? And so you want to give off the vibe that you are a sexual being, that you are the kind of guy that can give a woman the wild nights that she is looking for, right? And so how do you cultivate your sexual presence? There's a lot that goes into it, but for now, let's just get into the physical part. You must be hitting the gym, right? There's nothing that's going to turn a woman on more than a guy who has nice muscles. You don't have to have a perfect body, but just nice muscles. You got your six pack, you got your chest, you got your biceps, you got your traps. You're working on all of that. That's going to be very, very attractive. At the end of the day, women are going to be naked in bed with you. So she wants to see that you have a nice body, the kind of body that she wants to make love to. As well as wear nice clothes. Wear clothes that is fit. All right, fitted t-shirts. Your jeans are fitted. Your shoes are brand new. Your shoes should always be clean before walking outside. Have white teeth. Go to a dentist. Get your teeth professionally whitened. Use a skincare regimen. Have nice skin, right? Basically, you want to be clean and hygienic. Along with having a nice body, if you can combine a nice body with being clean and hygienic, you're gonna give off a lot of sexual presence that is gonna be very attracting and alluring. But the last thing you want to do is just be another dude walking in the world with just poor body language, no charisma in your walk. And these are the things, right? You want to have strong body language. You want to have a swagger when you walk. Walk as if you already had your dream girl. Or if you want to be single, you want to get with a lot of girls, walk like you already have 10 women, right? But you need to walk like you're already having great sex, basically, all right? That's point number 2. Point number 3, which ties into sexual presence, is women ignore men who are sexually innocent. What do I mean by this? Society teaches people, both men and women, that women are sexually innocent, that all they think about is love and marriage and kids and all that. When in reality, women are a lot like us, where they have their fantasies, they have their desires, they want to be a bad girl, a wild girl, no matter how nice she may present herself. And so women, they ignore men who do not understand this about them. Like men who think that, like, when women go outside, they put on this facade, this act that she's a good girl. The men who buy into that, who are innocent, sexually innocent, those are the men that she ignores. The men that she pays attention to are the men who can see past her act. The men who can see, yes, this guy can clearly tell that I am a sexual being that has fantasies and desires. And with that sexual presence that he has, those muscles, the nice clothes, I can tell that he can see past my act, right? And so basically, this comes down to a mindset, just understanding that women are sexually driven creatures just like us, all right? This is going to change your entire communication, the way you talk to them, the way you look at them, the way you treat them, all of that, right? And so the charisma you have, the way you flirt with them, right? And so this shows up, right? Women can tell a guy who is just sexually innocent. These are the guys who she ends up friend zoning, right? So that's number 3. Number 4 is being boring, right? There's nothing worse to a woman than a guy who's just boring. The moment a woman sees a guy is boring, can't carry the conversation, bro, she just walks away. All her desire just goes down the drain, right? And so the opposite of boring for this example is going to be adventurous. And so when guys think about, oh, I know I'm boring, how do I fix that? They think that it comes down to sense of humor. Maybe they need to learn conversation skills. It's none of that, okay? And so the definition of a guy, in my opinion, who is actually adventurous, a guy who's fun to be with, is actually a guy who is a rebel. He is a social rebel. He is a rebellious, all right? What do I mean by this? When we come to this planet, to this world, society already has a plan for us. You are to go to school, you are to get good grades, and then after you apply to a college, get good grades there, and then you go to, and then you got to get married, and then you got to pull out a loan so you can buy a house, and then you got to pull out another loan so you can buy your car, and then you're supposed to have kids, and it's just like, but what about you? What life do you want to live? All right, and so when we think about guys who are fun and bad boys, these are guys who are carving out their own path. They're saying, I am not going to follow the path of society. Because that's what just, like, the definition of a boring guy is a guy who's predictable. The guy who just stays within the lines. He never, goes outside the lines. All right? And so you have to carve your own path. Okay? What do you want out of this life? What things do you want to see before you die? What countries and cities do you want to travel to before you die? What cuisines do you want to taste before you die? What activities do you want to do? Do you want to jump out of a plane? Do you want to go swimming with sharks? I don't know, but bro, you can't just be this guy who's a 9-to-5 job type of guy, and then you come home and then you just watch Netflix, and then you just watch porn and video games, like the same shit everybody else is doing. Like, that's boring. Women do not want a man who's living like every other guy. You gotta schedule things that you are passionate about. This Saturday, I'm gonna go do this thing that I've always wanted to go do. And then the next week you do the same thing. All right, and then you go, you know what I mean? Like, just have fun, bro. Like, before you die, what are 100 things that you want to do? I recommend that this be an exercise for you. Get out a piece of pen and paper and write down what are 100 things you want to do before you pass away. All right, and so, and you can't just agree with everything that society has for you, because at that point you're just being inauthentic. At some point you have to say, I disagree with this thing. My heart does not tell me that my happiness is in this thing, so I gotta find another path. All right, that is the definition of a fun guy, right? So boring guys are just politically correct. Mom tells her, buy her roses, which is great. Buy women roses and open the door from them. Like, yes, be a nice guy, be a good guy in that kind of way, but that doesn't mean you cannot flirt with them. That doesn't mean that the conversation with her has to be politically correct, all right? You gotta like flirt. Again, get outside the lines, all right? Talk to her in a way that other guys don't talk to her, all right? Flirt with her in a way that other guys don't flirt with her, all right? So that's the definition of being adventurous. Number 4 is don't be boring. Number 5 is no competition, all right? Here's the thing that a lot of women, most women will never tell you this, but women are only attracted to men who they are in competition with. So when a woman sees that a guy, that in order to get this guy, there are 5 other girls who she needs to compete with, then that's when women start taking you serious, all right? But if women see that there are no other women who are interested in with you, she's not in competition with any other woman, then what is the point of her getting with you now? Okay, she could get with another guy, a guy who's gonna be a bad boy, adventurous, who's gonna give her great sex, and then she can come back to you in 6 months or maybe a year. Why? Because she knows that you're too available. She knows that there's not other women that are interested in, all right? And so, but if a woman sees, shit, like this guy Sean, well, he has Jessica, he has Susie, he has Rebecca, he has Samantha, like all these other girls are showing signs of interest, like, I need to swoop him up. I need to make him my boyfriend before, Rebecca, gets him as the boyfriend, right? And so, how do you get women to compete? How do you get multiple women interested in it? Again, it comes down to having sexual presence, going to the gym, having a nice body, dressing well. Like, those things are just going to catch the attention of women, right? You need to give off the look that you can give great sex. When you do that, women are going to pay attention, and then naturally there's going to be other women there, right? And so understand, like, we just don't value things that we know are going to be there a year from now. We only value things that we know that if we don't act now, it's going to be the offer is going to be off the table a week from now, right? And so you need to make yourself urgent. Like, she needs to feel like she needs to act now, right? Number 6 is no exclusivity. What do I mean by this? And so women they're just repelled, turned off by guys who are just willing to date any type of girl. No woman, especially a high quality woman, a woman of high caliber, just a high quality woman, no woman like that is gonna be interested in a guy who's just open for the whole world. Like, I'll just date any type of girl. For as long as a girl is interested in me, I'll date her and sleep with her. Like, no, bro. Like, what are your requisites, your prerequisites? Like, as a man, you need to have 10 things that she must have and 10 things that she cannot have. Like, I refuse to tolerate these 10 qualities in a woman. What are your 10 red flags? What are your 10 must have, your non-negotiables, all right? You need to have a very clear idea as to the type of woman that you're looking for, both in personality and in looks, all right? And also in lifestyle. What path is she on? She must be on a certain type of path if you're going to consider dating her. She could be a hot girl, but if she's on a different type of path, then you're just not going to date her, right? And so when a woman sees, like, if there's one thing that women really find just attractive in a guy, is a guy who is extremely picky. Like, damn, that guy, he's hot. He gives off a lot of sexual presence. He's a very good looking dude. I can tell he's going to the gym. And he doesn't date any type of girl. Like, he's very picky and selective with who he dates, with who he sleeps with, all right? And so when people say women are, they like a challenge, that is how you become a challenge. When you have your prerequisites, like these are the 10 things that a woman must have in order for me to consider even dating her. When you are highly exclusive, that is when you become attractive to women, right? Society teaches men that you must sleep with as many women as possible, but if you're just carrying that mentality, like you're just trying to get like the first girl, and you're willing to sleep with the first girl and you're willing to sleep with all the other girls, like that actually turns women off. Okay, and so you actually want to be saying no more than you say yes. Okay, if you are saying no to the majority of the women, then that is how you know you are doing it right. That is going to send the message to all the women, like, fuck, like this guy doesn't say yes to every girl. Like he actually says no. Like while other guys are willing to sleep with any girl, this guy, Sean, he says no to most girls. So like, there must be something good about him. All right. And so they just perceive that as being higher status, being a guy who has higher standards for himself, right? And then number 7 is just simply not making your purpose known, your intentions known. Like, why are you like even talking to the girl, right? If you are talking to her, she knows that you like her, she knows that you want to sleep with her, but you didn't make it really clear, okay? You didn't say so either with your words or the way you look at her or just your actions, right? Like a woman has to feel desired. She wants to feel like this guy came for me specifically. This comes back to the exclusivity thing. If you're just like kind of like wishy-washy, like, hey, how are you? Thought I'd just say hi. What's your name? My name is so on and so on. Like she's just gonna be like, here we go again, another guy who I know he's interested in me. You know, I can tell he's interested in me, but like he doesn't just go after it, right? When you want something in life as a man, you go after that thing directly. Just fucking like straightforward. You're not zigzagging. Straightforward. And so a woman wants to feel like, damn, this guy came right for me. Like right for me. All right. That is how a woman wants to feel. All right. And so when you go up to a woman, every guy has a different style. Some guys are just more indirect in their way of talking, and some guys are just more direct. But you need to find a way of being at least like, you know, you got to be direct at some point. Hey, I thought you were beautiful. I saw you from across the room. I thought you were beautiful, gorgeous. Like, I had to come say hi. I'm nervous. I don't know what I want to say, but like, I really want to come say hi and meet you. I know you're beautiful, but I want to see what kind of personality I have and see, you know, just, you know, do we have a vibe? Just stuff like that. Like that is what's going to really turn a woman off. All right. But guys who are just wishy-washy, like women, they put those guys aside. Right. And so let your attentions be known. The way you look at her, okay, look at her like she's the only person that has your attention within the room. Everybody else you're ignoring, but this girl, she has your attention, right? And so, and then the way you talk to her in a slow, seductive manner, okay? So, all of that's gonna let a woman know, okay, this guy is interested in me for more than just friendship. He's interested in me for romance and seduction, right? And so that is what women want to feel. If she understands your intention, she's gonna reciprocate and be like, all right, we can go out, we can go on a date, all right? And so, and of course, there's gonna be times where women they're not gonna reciprocate. They just don't feel the same interest that you do, all right? And so that's fine, no worries, all right? And so, again, those are the 7 reasons why women ignore men. Number 1, due to lack of status. Number 2, lack of sexual presence. Number 3, men who are sexually innocent. Number 4, men who are boring. Number 5, men who create no competition amongst, like she has no competition with other women. Number 6, men who have no exclusivity, they're willing to date any and every kind of woman. And then number 7, men who just do not make their intentions clear with the woman, right? And so, if you need to watch this video again, do so, because chances are if women are ignoring you, for sure, like 1 or 2 or 3 or maybe more of these you are missing within your game, right? And so hopefully you found that video to be helpful. As I said, if you find this type of content helpful, subscribe. This is a brand new channel. I would really appreciate your support. It would just help to make the algorithm better so that we can push this content to more and more guys, as men need more honest, sincere advice. All right. And so hopefully you found that video to be helpful, and I'll see you in a future video. Thanks for watching, and you rock. You're the best. Subscribe, like, comment, and share, and all the best to you. Deuces.